RPGs are stories about heroes going on grand quests and accomplishing big, gigantic things. However, in the course of that, there's going to be a lot of danger. And if it's a good story that has some element of realism, there are people who are going to die in the course of your adventure. And that's what this top 5 is dedicated to. It's dedicated to those characters who died in the line of duty. Now, the really hard thing about this list is that there's actually so many characters that died in RPGs, so why am I just choosing 5? Well, the thing is, really, these are the top 5 ones that I felt had the biggest impact on me. A lot of the times in RPGs, there's kind of a misstep where somebody dies and you didn't really know the character, or you didn't really care if they died, or if it wasn't really a big deal. In any case, these are the top 5 ones that just really got to me and really made me see the game in a whole different way and understand the struggle of the characters that much more. And in a way, these are just 5 of the character deaths that maybe made my eyes moisten, or something along those lines. In any case, let's get into the top 5. Just as a last point, I didn't put Aerith from Final Fantasy VII because that was kind of easy and obvious. Let's get into the top 5. Coming in at number 5, this one is from Suikoden 2. Coming in at number 5 is Nanami. So basically how she dies in the game is when you're invading this big castle and there's arrows that are fired at your protagonist, and Nanami, your sister, jumps in front of them and saves your life. Now, this death was pretty shocking to me in a lot of ways. Basically, Nanami was the heart of the game. She was the character that you always kind of relied on. She was always the most upbeat character. She was your freaking sister, so you kind of relied on her a lot. And the game just kind of rips out your heart when it's still beating. What was especially painful about this death was that it was pretty much unpredictable. I never saw it coming at all, honestly. And the only thing that kind of makes this one number 5 is the fact that you can kind of get her back afterwards. So I guess it's not the true ending when she dies, but still in that moment it felt absolutely terrible. I also picked this one over Gremio in the first Suikoden because this was like a brother-sister relationship, and it's more powerful than a son, half kind of father death. Number 4 is from Persona 3. Coming in at number 4 is Shinjiro. Basically what happens is there's an altercation with another one of the characters and Shinjiro ends up dead. Who is Shinjiro? Well, he's a friend of Akihiko's and he's a former member of the group SEES, and he is killed in the line of duty. See, in most games, when a character dies, the game just kind of... they have a little bit of a moment, then it's done, that's it. No. In Persona 3, consistent to Persona 3, which is a character-heavy game, there's a whole funeral around it, and oh my god, it absolutely killed me. That funeral scene where Akihiko comes up and talks to his dead friend is absolutely one of the most heartbreaking moments in an RPG. For me, hands down at least. Just watching the most badass character in the game, the one who never loses his cool, just lose it. It's unbelievable. This scene is so powerful, and honestly, it gave us more insight into the character and the other characters as well. Really, this was one of my most favorite moments from the game, and it's a reason why I regard Persona 3 so highly.
Yo. I had the usual for lunch. Ramen tastes a lot better when you're cutting class. Make sure you invite me next time. Say something, will ya? Why are you always like that? You're so stubborn. Put yourself in my shoes for a change. You think it's the other way around, huh? I guess you're right. I was too obsessed with power. Ever since I lost Miki, that's all I've cared about. I thought that if I was strong enough, I could protect anyone. But I was wrong. And now you're gone too. I'm such an idiot. In battle, there's always a chance of dying. I knew that. But I was so focused on fighting that I didn't notice anything else. It didn't matter how tough I was. Look what happened! Yeah, I know. Crying won't change anything, will it? Alright, Shinji.
Number 3 is from XENOBLADE. So, number 3 is Fiora. Oh, Fiora. I think, honestly, they pulled an Aerith, and they pulled it very well. See, Fiora was a very, very awesome character. And the game kind of tricks you because at the beginning, you get to play as Fiora for like maybe the first couple of hours, and she's really good. And not just in battle, she's actually a really cool character. Like right here, before she dies. Like right here, look at her go. She freaking jumps in a tank. She's awesome. She's a great character and you want to learn a lot more about her. But then this happens.
Fiora! I'll kill you!
That, honestly, that early in the game, killing off the love interest, wow, like, honestly, people, this is how you start your game. Basically, what hurts most about this death is that you really wanted to see more of this character, and it's just so terrible to see that taken right in front of you. And of course you have to think about it from Shulk's perspective, who Fiora's his like childhood friend, and this kind of sets up the whole theme of inevitability and trying to change the future that the whole game is centered around. It just makes you feel a sense of futility. It really makes you hate the Mechon and really makes you kind of feel what Shulk and Ryan are going through. They're going on this whole quest to defeat the Mechon. Her death is absolutely stunning. It was a great way to start the game. Although, honestly, it is kind of weakened by the fact that she comes back later, but at the time, that death absolutely threw me off, and it made me love this game. Number 2 is from Illusion of Gaia. Okay, this one is gonna be a weird pick because, honestly, I don't hear too many people talk about this game. But more specifically, this character, although he was part of your team, did not have a word of dialogue, and he really didn't do too much. But honestly, this moment absolutely blew me away, especially because it came on a Super Nintendo game. Oh gosh. So coming in at number 2 is the death of Hamlet. Yes, if anyone's played Illusion of Gaia, you know this moment, and you know because you see it in all of your nightmares and every time you eat a hot dog. So basically what happens is Hamlet is kind of the teen mascot. He kind of follows you guys around. He's cute, he's adorable, haha. But when you guys get to this island later in the game, there's a bunch of cannibals that threaten to eat the whole party. Basically, everyone's tied up, everyone's gonna die. And guess what happens? Hamlet puts the team on his back, and he makes the absolutely incredible altruistic decision to jump in the fire, to become food, to save his friends. Honestly, when you think about it, you can't top that. There's no, like, it's such a ridiculous but heartbreaking moment at the same time. Like, why would you kill off the pig? Why would you kill off, like, he's the mascot. Why would you do that? Just why? And to top it all off, your friend, after your pig friend made this huge, great sacrifice, your friend has the audacity to make a stupid ass joke. Look at this. Hey, fuck you, man. This was a touching moment of altruism that absolutely no one saw coming, and it's one of the most absolutely memorable moments in the game, and in my opinion, RPG history. Number 1. This one comes from Mother 3. Coming in at number 1 is Klaus from Mother 3. Guys, honestly, this one wins without contest. Basically, early on in the game, your mother dies and your brother is lost. Klaus goes lost and nobody can find him for the whole game. However, you do kind of find him, only to find that he's been brainwashed into a figure known as the Masked Man, who's basically trying to destroy everything Lucas and his family holds dear. What's absolutely heartbreaking about this death is that it comes at the very end of the game, and it's just the fact that you've been looking for your brother this whole game, you've been trying to get your family back together, the dad has spent days and weeks and years looking for his son in the mountains, but he can't find him, and then when he finally does find him, he's trying to kill everybody, he's brainwashed, and when he finally comes to his senses, when you're finally able to bring him to that moment of redemption, he dies. Honestly, that's probably the saddest moment in one of the most tragic video games of all time. There's something about the death of a sibling that's absolutely terrible, and the fact that Klaus is a kid, like, he didn't mean for any of this to happen. It's just so terrible because he's your brother and you have to watch it so slowly. That final battle really just drags out all the emotions. It's honestly, I would be lying if I wasn't saying that this was the most memorable but saddest deaths in RPG history. And of course, guys, I know I missed a bunch of others, but honestly, these were the top 5 biggest ones for me. But I want to hear what your top 5 most tragic RPG deaths are in the comments below. Please put a big spoiler warning on all of your tags, or at least put the game first and then put the spoiler a couple of lines down. But I'm really curious to hear, what's your most tragic death in RPG? Thanks for watching.